Welcome to Miss Lam's Math World. Today we are going to start the first chapter, Form 5, which is more about equations. So the first part is to solve simultaneous equations. In Form 2, we have learned the method to solve a simultaneous equation of two straight lines like this. Y is equal to maybe ax plus b, or y is equal to cx plus d like this. And then this point, the coordinates of this point is called the intersection, is the solution. Now, we are going to solve them for one parabola and one straight line. Okay, so this one is a parabola, quadratic function. And this one, linear function, is a straight line. Alright, so when we solve the simultaneous equation, we can actually substitute y and only get the x as a variable to solve the equations. And then after we put them in the general form, and we can check that discriminant. If the discriminant is greater than 0, like this, then there are two distinct solutions, so you call two intersections. One intersection, discriminant is equal to 0, one solution. And then less than 0, we have no real solutions. No real solutions, and means no intersections. So let's move on to the warm-up questions. For the warm-up question, try to solve them by using the given graphs. So please check carefully. The answer by graphical method should only be the approximation. Okay. So the first one, you got the parabola, and then you also get the straight line, y is equal to -2. And then we only get this point as the solution, 1.0 and -2.0. Like this. So we can do this similarly for the rest of them. Two solutions for part B, and then no real solutions for part C. So after we have completed the warm-up question, so please also try to sketch the graph ourselves like this, and we solve again the simultaneous equations graphically. So let's start with example 1.1. For the parabola, we usually substitute 6 to 7 points. And for a straight line, we substitute 3 points. Do you still remember the way to input the program? So we can use this function to help us substitute all these 7 numbers quickly. So after that, we substitute numbers like x is -4, so you get 5, and then -3, we get 0. So we'll learn the answer one by one, and then we will finish them at a moment. So when you check the answer, please check that if it is a kind of parabola. For parabola, we have symmetry property, right? So if you get one of them to be the vertex, so you got the number which are symmetrical. So we start to plot the graph. But I found out that -11 is a little bit too small, so let's change the value. So it doesn't matter to change the value like this. So you get 1 here, so we can have a better value, right? So it is a -2, -4, -6, so you get -7. Sorry. Okay, you get 1, 2, -1, 2, 3, 4. So we can start the drawing. So now I've modified a bit. And we know that we can plot all the points in the graph. All the axes ready, then we plot all the points. For the parabola, do not use a ruler. Alright, it is a curve. So right now we are going to sketch the graph. So you may need to rotate your paper when you plot it. So you see the first part is done, then you also work out for the second one. So Ms. Lams has actually rotated my iPad to do so. Now don't forget to write down the name of the graph. Right, and then we do it similarly for the straight line. So now we can sketch the graph, right? Done. So you got 2 points as the answer. So from the figure, the points of the intersections are these 2, okay? And then after that, so please write down the answer in this format. So because the answer has to be by pairs, that means for each value of x, you should get the corresponding values of y. Okay, so for the how many digits to correct to be, then you can so it depends on the intervals that you selected. Finally, in this video clip, so please try to draw the 2 graphs and then solve the equations. So the graph to be added, it depends on the equations. So first you have to check whether these 2 are exactly the same. If not, so you have to rearrange the function and see if it is the real one, the correct one. Then the next part is you have to add the lines for this. So this is the line required. Alright? So to add the graph, you just need to test some points and then write down the sentence, add the line y is equal to x plus 4. Then from the graph, you can check for the solution key. X is 1.0, y is equal to 5.0. And then we do it similarly for part B. Add another line, and then you can check from the graph to get the solution. So basically, this part is actually the skill of drawing the graph and then find the point of intersection to solve the equations graphically. Please try example 1.3 on your own. And we will check the answers later. That's the end of this math lesson. See you next time.